I believe intelligence agencies around the world often work through proxies and local assets, or maybe criminal networks as well, in the hostile territories. How important are such networks in covert operations, especially in countries where official presence is impossible? I mean, close to impossible sometimes. I have heard stories of the people whom I cannot mention the name, of course, on the podcast, who were a part of the families who went as a part of the Indian delegation to Islamabad. We had like high commission over there, because I think embassies are generally used as a kind of a deep cover as well for some of the agency operations as well. So in country like Pakistan, which is like most of our India security budget goes on that, how do you basically carry out covert operations by having an official presence there?
Most intelligence agencies tend to adopt diplomatic covers, right? The embassies are the basis of intelligence operations, where you have intelligence officers posted on diplomatic covers, and quite naturally, because if you're caught, then you have the Geneva Convention to protect you. You're only declared persona non grata and sent back, right? So you have diplomatic immunity, you cannot be arrested, you cannot be mistreated. But obviously, Pakistan does not adhere to all these kind of conventions. So conducting intelligence activities based from the Russian embassy becomes very difficult. So what do you do in that instance? So then you reach out to anybody possible, right? But when you're talking about counterterrorism, you're talking about terrorist organizations. It's very difficult to monitor them being based in an embassy or in a high commission. And terrorist groups per se, they are very hierarchical and close-knit groups, right? So even infiltrating a terrorist group becomes extremely difficult. And so what they do is they build ties with criminal organizations. Now when you're talking about organized criminal groups, they are transnational in character. So they have infrastructure cutting across borders, they have manpower, they have financial networks, and so on and so forth. The intelligence agencies cannot infiltrate the terrorist groups by themselves. Now they see an opportunity with these criminal gangs. Now, so in this day and age, it's far more easier to hire somebody to carry out an odd attack. When you ask me about the operational steps that need to be taken while planning, is that even after you've done everything, operations and so on, there is no guarantee that on the final day your target will be where you expect him or her to be. So it doesn't really make much sense to have one of our own operative to go in and carry out an attack if it is much more easier to simply hire somebody and pay them off to get the job done.